Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players, and Tesh Ordo here. Today, I'm going to talk about both the Nexu and the Reek, and how I feel like they should be playable characters in Galaxy of Heroes. Maybe this could be like a 2024 add-in, maybe at the end of the year of 2023, maybe like for those that celebrate it, Christmas gift or Hanukkah or whatever they celebrate. But honestly, I feel like it'd be really cool to see both the Nexu and Reek come to the game. Now I'm going to talk about Nexu first. We already have his kit details stuff. I just need to tweak it for the character release. The personal use character that we can collect, farm up 7-star, etc. And we have the option of going after these characters in the new territory battles on Geonosis. I think you need Relic 6 characters, but that's not too bad if you have already teams of Relic 5 for them. You can just go after them with Relic 6. Would they need specific teams? I don't know, maybe, but maybe not. Maybe I think it'd just be nice to just let us use whatever dark side team we can use to take on these teams. It'd be kind of fun and cool. A lot of players would go to town on farming these characters, because they would still take a while to farm, especially for guilds that just don't have the oomph to get all 3 of them. They'd be able to get so many, etc. So, but yeah, it's not hard to do that. I feel like it'd be a great way to bolster players' rosters. So first I'm going to talk about Nexu. So his size, I'm going to say, yeah, I feel like they can make his size kind of comparable to like Wampa, Records, etc. Some bigger characters, but not like Jabba the Hutt. His Nexu's size doesn't have to be that big, because, even like animals in the real world, they come in all different shapes and sizes and stuff. So you can get a slightly smaller Nexu, just call it Nexu, and that's it. You don't need to be young Nexu or something like that. That'd be a different story for like maybe Mochi or Muchi from Bad Batch's a little Rancor. That's a little different story, but it actually has a name where Nexu is Nexu. But I like the aspect of this character, because I feel like this would be a character, if they just tweak it and play with the numbers and stats just right, can counter, Padme teams. Any Padme team, it could counter. Maybe it could be one of the one characters that solos, maybe Jedi Master Kenobi teams. I don't know how they would answer Commander Ahsoka Tano with the Annihilate. Like, obviously it would easily stomp maybe Jedi Master Kenobi, because he has a lot of effects that attack under health and stuff. Or, well, he has the bleed effect. They lose 5% turn, but like, let's see. I think it uses 2 abilities per turn and prioritizes enemies with lower health. That's the Reek. Never mind, that's the Reek. But still, I think the Reek, that would be a Reek thing. But like Nexu, I feel like this would be a great way to counter Geonosians, just in a general sense, and then slap it on Omicron for like TWJC to counter various other teams. There's a lot of opportunities for Nexu to counter various different teams, just like Wampa does. Granted, lately I've been hearing stories of people struggling with Wampa to counter Sith Eternal. I actually lost a battle against Sith Eternal. I don't know what happened. I didn't get stunned or dazed. They just dished out enough damage that it dropped. I don't know. Maybe it was just a combination of all the attackers Sith that I was facing, because I had Marauder and Sidious. So I don't know. But yeah, Nexu definitely deserves to make it as a playable character. And there is an instant defeat on him, which is really cool. And they just have to adjust it. Like, this ability starts on cooldown, so that probably would help. But they'd probably have to balance it where, the character has to have at least 3 stacks of bleed or something like that. And then you could just annihilate them. Maybe the first cooldown is, kind of like how Commander Tano is. The first one is an instant defeat. Then after that, you have to have at least 3, or maybe like 2, at least 2 to 3 bleeds on him before you can instant defeat him if they had bleeds. So he has an ability that dispels buffs on all enemies. I don't know. He ignores taunt. Oh, and that's what it is. He ignores taunt and protection. So he hits under protection, which is why it's great against Padme teams, great against, it would be great against Commander Tano teams. So they'd have to find a way of where maybe he has like so many turns of instant defeat or something like that. I don't know. He ignores taunts, so you can just keep go after Commander Tano and just knock her out. And if you don't have a thick Tano, you might get dropped. I don't know. Like, I feel like this would be a great character to counter those teams. It's phenomenal, phenomenal. And then Reek. Reek has some similar aspects. Now, this one would be definitely a large character like Jabba the Hutt. I feel like if he's by himself, he should be in the middle. But if there's others, like if he's thrown into a team, he would sit on the side where Jabba is. And probably the backside of him would probably be outside the screen because of how big he is. It's kind of the same problem with Acklay, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to talk about Acklay in a couple of weeks in another video when the dark side territory battles come around. But still, like this guy is really good. He also does a lot of, reducing max protection, and inflicting trampled on enemies. Instead of light side enemies, it should just be enemies. I don't know if they'd have the trampled on Jango Fett part of it, because I think that was just specifically for that boss fight in the cam mission. But still, a lot of this character kit is pretty solid, and it's a 3 ability. I feel like at least Reek would probably get another ability, either two abilities and 2 uniques. A basic, special, unique or something like that. Or I don't know, maybe they'd actually add another unique and boost him up, and then some sort of like maybe roar that he has. Roar where he kind of like goes on his hind legs and roars, and kind of like how a horse kind of does that thing. He have him do that. Maybe he can inflict, no, maybe not fear, but like, give himself some sort of like buff, kind of like Wampa's roaring buff. I don't know. There's a lot of aspects for having these 2 characters come to the game as playable characters. It would be so fun. Like when these territory battles came out, the dark side and light side Geonosis territory battles, I had hoped at least Nexu could come to the game. I never thought, maybe Reek or Acklay would make it, just because Reek and Acklay are just so big. But they kind of solved that problem with the Jabba. And you can maybe like, I feel like, it sounds weird, but I feel like these creatures would definitely be great with Wookiees, because you only need 3 Wookiees. So you can actually have a team of 4 Wookiees and one of these 2, depending on what Omicron, whatever side, either TW or GAC, whichever Omicron they don't, correlate with, the opposite, you could just slap them in. Because I've been throwing Wampa with Wookiees, and I could get some results to counter, like, because that AoE days with Wampa slows down the Omni Phasma teams. And I have faced a Padme team before too. So I feel like, these guys would be definitely plug and playable in some unique aspect teams. Yeah, I feel like the best ones would be as if they get some sort of buffs. Now, I will say, I feel like they deserve to be neutral, to be honest, just because these kind of creatures on Geonosis were kind of enslaved by the Geonosians. They were, tortured and captured just to use for entertainment and to devour and eat their victims, as, Padme, Anakin, and Kenobi were about to be. But they kind of beat them back, and then the Clone Wars started from there, etc. The start of the Battle of Geonosis started there. But still, these creatures make sense to be neutral. Wampa makes sense to be neutral. We'll have to see if CG ever does anything about that. Aside from that, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, what creatures would you like to see come to Galaxy of Heroes? Like I said, I'm going to do more videos of these various different creatures, but like, I just wanted to go over these, 2 characters that are just in the game. They're already in the game. Their models are made. All they have to do is take the time, invest in them, turn them into playable characters, make 3 different nodes on them, and let them be farmed. Maybe, here's an odd one, maybe you fight all 3 of them with any team. You could use any team, light, dark, neutral, whatever. Light and dark, and you could beat them, and you have to fight all 3 of them, and you get one of each of the shards per attempt. I know you're farming 3 characters at a time, but I feel like that would be great. All these 2 plus the Acklay. Oh, come on, CG. Come on. That would just be amazing. But yeah, I'm going to go over the kind of, my thoughts a little bit on the kit, and show the kit of the Acklay in a couple of weeks, as well as I might go over some more other dark side territory battle characters. I'm going to be doing that with the light side, because I want to talk about them. There's some of them that actually just, to me, make sense to be slapped in, and they would work. Even if they're just simple, basic, shore trooper, stormtrooper level characters. They're basic. They're not like 50-page paragraphs. these are the characters we need. Aside from that, let me know in the comments below about these creatures. What creatures would you like to see? Let me know. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you for watching, and have a phenomenal day.